These are the plaintiffs, Daniel and Mark Oldham. Mark says he was driving down the road one day and he and the defendant, who was driving another car, got into an altercation. They ended up pulling over. A brawl ensued and his car got damaged in the melee. The defendant's a 40-year-old loser who beat up a 20-year-old, damaged his car, and now won't pay up. Jeez Louise. They're suing for $1,582.45, the cost of his damages. This is the defendant, Craig Pagano. He says the plaintiff and his buddy were driving around like idiots, so he rolled down his window and told them to stop before they hurt someone. Next thing you know, the punk cuts him off. They both pull over, and his friends start to pummel him in the face. The plaintiff started the entire thing with a 40-year-old father of 4? Who does he think he is? Oh, him? Ah, he's accused of road rage.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
Daniel and Mark Oldham?
Yes.
You are suing Craig Pagano?
Yes.
You got a problem?
No, not
Don't
at all.
stare him down while I'm standing here talking to you.
Sorry.
Okay. For $1,582.45, the estimate to repair your car due to damages that you say he inflicted on your car. What happened?
I had went with some of my friends. They were picking out furniture for their new apartment. We had went to the furniture store, and we decided we were going to go to the Burger King nearby to go get something to eat for lunch. So we were on our way, and we had to make a left turn, and there was a 2-lane left turning lane. So I was in the left turning lane, and the defendant was in the right turning lane. And the light had turned green. We had went to make the left, and he started to kind of come over into my lane. So I just beeped the horn to let him know that I was here, not to hit me. And
But there's 2 lanes that are legitimately left turning lanes?
Yes.
Okay.
So he had backed off into his lane, and I thought it was all done and everything was good.
And you're in a car with who else?
I'm in the car. I'm in my father's car with my my good friend Eric.
Your good friend Eric is where right now?
He's unfortunately at work.
Okay, and then there's another car that you're following or something?
Yes, I was following my friend's car who hit my friend and his girlfriend.
Okay, and they are not here. Why?
They had other obligations as well.
So 3 witnesses aren't here.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on.
I thought it was over, and then we had stopped at another red light, and I looked over, and he was rolling his window down, and my friend was rolling his window down as well.
The passenger in your car?
Yeah, and this guy asked me if I had a problem, and I said no, I don't really have a problem. You were coming into my lane, but I don't have a problem. And he, was yelling at me and stuff. So
what was he saying?
I can't really recall exactly.
Okay, what was your friend saying?
My friend was just telling him to calm down because we're not looking for trouble or anything. So,
really?
Yeah.
I got a feeling that everybody was smack talking out there. That's just my gut.
Well, believe what you will, but
yes, it is my prerogative. Yes, indeedy. So go on.
The windows roll back up, and again, I think everything is over. So the light turns green, and my friend was in front of the defendant at the time, and who I was following to the nearby Burger King, and so I had to get in between them. But there was
really? You had to get in between his car. You had to cut him off.
I didn't cut him off. There was quite.
Dad, you listening?
I'm learning some things today. No, I have the whole story.
Okay, no, I don't want to hear what somebody told you the story was. You weren't there. I just want to make sure you're listening. Go ahead.
There was quite a big gap between them.
But that's a good idea. Some crazy guy, according to you, who rolls down the window, starts screaming at you unjustifiably, who's got clear road rage, according to you, you think it's a good idea to cut in front of him. You don't think that that's going to escalate the matter.
I didn't think I was cutting in front of him.
No, how about this? How about just stand back and letting the crazy guy roll off? That would be a good idea, right?
Thought I was.
How old are you?
20.
Okay, so go ahead.
I thought I was.
So you cut in front of him, and what happens?
In front of him to follow my friend in.
You know where the Burger King is, right? You don't have to follow him to the Burger King. You know exactly where the Burger King is, right?
No, I'm not from that area we were in.
Okay, so does your friend know where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't really have to cut in front of the guy who just yelled at you in traffic. You understand people get shot and killed like this? No, you don't. You don't read a newspaper at 20.
No.
No, you should.
Okay.
Okay, Dad, have you educated him on the dangers of this kind of thing? Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
go ahead.
So I follow my friend into the Burger King. I park next to him, And he flies into
He who?
the
You're using
defendant.
too many pronouns.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, the defendant goes into the parking lot, doesn't park in a parking space, throws the door open, and charges at my friend who was in the passenger seat. There may have been words, I don't know, because I was in the driver's seat, and I got out of the car.
When your friend gets out, the friend who I can only assume deliberately did not bring here to testify, who gets out of the passenger seat, he gets out knowing that this guy has just pulled the car up and is getting out?
Yeah, he realizes it. Because he started getting out of the car to go into the Burger King, and he sees the guy coming. So
Okay.
I get out of the car, I go around the car, and I see them, fighting.
They're already fighting?
Yeah, when I had gotten around the car. So
But you can't remember what was said that would escalate to something like this?
no,
Okay.
I don't really remember.
Okay,
So,
go ahead. You know how this isn't a memorable thing? Okay, go ahead.
I get out of the car.
I don't know what you're laughing at. I haven't even gotten to you yet. It's not going to be that funny when I get there, so if I were you, I'd stop laughing. What is her relationship to you?
It's my wife.
That's your wife. Oh. I think it's hysterical when my husband ends up in a fist fight with 20-year-olds. I think it's hysterical.
Listen, I had gotten out of the car and went around. I had saw them. They were wrestling around. My friend Eric was pushed into my father's car by the time I went around, and they were wrestling around. And me and my other friend Christian had stepped in to try to just break it up. We did not throw a fist at all. We had just tried to simply break them up. And my friend's girlfriend had said she was calling the cops.
The girlfriend of your friends in the other car?
Yes.
Okay.
And
How does a fight break up?
it had eventually broken up when the defendant agreed to let go of my friend. That was it. He started walking back to the car, and we
And then
just
everybody
waited.
waits for the police?
Yeah, we had just waited for the police.
Okay, let me hear your version of how it happened.
February 27th was my wife's birthday. I was heading out of, like you said, by the furniture store, making a left-hand turn. I was in the right lane. They were in the left lane, and they were driving, not just, he says I came into his lane. He actually came into my lane, then corrected himself, then went to come in my lane again, in which case I beat my horn. And they were driving like he was purposely trying to aggravate me in some way. I don't know what he was doing, but I rolled down my window. I said, "Why are you driving like an idiot? Cut it out. You're going to kill somebody." And his friend opened the window and then went to get out of his car, like took his seatbelt off. I said, "We're not going to
Wait,
fight."
aren't you in motion? Or
We're
no, you're at a
light.
red light?
There's a light, then another quick light right there.
Okay.
So after I beep at him, I rolled down my window. I said, "You're driving like an idiot. Cut it out." His friend,
Were those your exact words?
probably not.
Okay.
I was pretty heated. It was an obvious attempt to. It was very bad driving.
Okay.
And again, I'm a dad, and whatever.
But you're not their dad. And do
Right.
you read newspapers?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
is
I
this a good
shouldn't-
idea or a bad
bad
idea to try to confront 20-year-old kids and get into a John match with them?
100% bad idea.
Okay, because you don't act like a father of four, and a
Right.
father of four has something to lose.
Right.
And so the last thing he wants to do is be anywhere near that car.
Exactly.
He lets that car roll on, right?
Right.
Okay, go on.
Exactly. I mean, in fact, when his passenger went to get out of the car, I said, "We're not going to fight. This is not a fight. Just drive straight." And then I drove on. Now, I'm driving. They're in the left lane. I'm in the right lane. I purposely didn't even look to my left. No antagonization at all. When we got to, I promise you not.
You walked in my
Because at that
courtroom and
point-
we're you walked in my courtroom and we're staring him down.
I did
like
look at
that.
him. I haven't
what was
seen
that
him
about?
since then. I was just
you
looking
can't
at
even
him.
control yourself when you're in my presence, and
sorry.
you want me to believe that you are just the measure of diplomacy, and it was just
No,
because you're a dad
I
out
told you
there,
I was
and
yelling
that you
at him.
weren't a nut.
I was yelling at him.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
But
So
then I
what
decided
happens?
that, the kid wanted to get out of the car and fight me. I did not want to have a fight with anyone. I did want to tell him that he was driving terribly. So we went on down the road. I'm going to Burger King. Right before the entrance to Burger King, he pulls up in front of me, slams on his brakes, and cuts into the Burger King
Are
parking
you
lot.
with your wife in the car? or you're
No,
alone?
I was alone. So when I also
What
was going
coincidence that
into...
you're both going to Burger King? It's not like anybody's trying to hunt anybody down. Okay. Hold on. Go ahead.
So I was going to get dinner for my wife for her birthday. This was a happy
At Burger
day.
King?
Yeah.
You're getting her a Happy Meal?
She wasn't cooking that night.
I
She
can't
was
hear you from
pregnant.
there. Hold on. Go ahead.
So I was whatever. Not.
So what happened?
So I go to get on the drive. When I go into that parking lot, I was going to the drive-thru. When I go into that parking lot, immediately they pulled into the parking lot also, and his passenger got out of the car to come towards my van. My window was open. I immediately jumped out of my van because he was coming towards me already.
Why don't you just drive off?
I'm on the drive-through
drive
line.
off?
I couldn't even get through. That's car right in front of me. He's already coming towards my van. Bad idea, but I feared for myself. So
Are you trying to tell me that you were already in the drive-through lane when they come and they get you out of your car?
I pulled in. The drive-through lane's right there. They pulled to the left, and he got out of the car
No,
immediately.
the drive-through
and
lane's
came
right
towards me.
there, but you're here. So why don't you just
we
drive
met
off?
in the middle. What's that?
Why don't you just drive off?
Hindsight? I would've.
Hindsight?
In hindsight, I would have.
Hindsight, that you don't go looking for trouble is hindsight? You're 40. This hasn't occurred to you? Do you have an anger problem?
I've never been in trouble once, and I have a completely clean license.
Have you ever gotten into fistfights?
No.
Never in your life?
No.
Ever in your entire life you've never gotten into a fist fight?
Maybe in high school.
Oh my gosh, you're such a
Not
liar.
a fist
Okay.
fighter.
All right, so now here you are. You're facing 3 20-year-olds and you have no idea the fighting abilities of the girl.
I had no idea there was two
Excuse me.
cars.
You have no idea the fighting abilities of the woman in the car.
Right, she
and
did
then
hit me,
what?
by the way.
And then what?
And then I wound up getting beat up by 3 kids and a girl. They were all throwing
she
punches
did beat
at
on
me.
you?
Oh, she was throwing punches. too,
Okay, so they're all throwing punches at you, and what happens?
Finally, I had his friend that was in his car in a headlock hard enough where he, I guess, yelled, "Let me go." And they said, finally, "All right, let him go." And I let him go, and they backed up, and they let me go to my
But
van.
when did the dent in the car happen? Somebody's
During
head
that
went into
whole
the car.
altercation, everybody was in that altercation. That's why the police didn't even, they said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go home, They said they want to have me arrested. I said, well, I want all of them arrested also. They were all hitting me.
And then the police tell you, if I arrest one person, I arrest everybody,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they usually do when they see a situation like this where it's two meeting, because that's sort of what it sounds like.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Could you think of any circumstance where if somebody incites you on the road, you would get out of the car and confront them?
Absolutely.
Really? What would you do?
I always carry a bat on the side of my car, so
Carry a what?
bat.
So why would you get out and incite him?
He already excited me. He cut me off.
I get it, but you could end up killing somebody and going to prison. Am I convincing you here? Tell me yes.
I'm from Brooklyn, so no. But
it all depends on if they're taller than me or
No,
shorter.
it should not, because you can go to prison for doing something bad to a short person.
Well-
and I'm not just sticking up for short guys.
It all depends who gets out first. If he gets out first, I'm out of the car.
Bad idea, going inside the courtroom.
Let me see the damage to the car. Let me go ahead, come on up, and I wanted to hear from you. Was there something you wanted to say earlier?
I just wanted to say it was my birthday. I was 7 months pregnant at the time, and I feel terrible because he never would have even left the house if it wasn't for me saying, "Oh, I'm really craving fast food." When he came home, he had welts all over his head. His rib was like distended and bruised. I was begging him to go to the hospital. He does not have health insurance. It was my birthday. We have our second daughter's a special needs baby. I was visibly upset about the whole thing, and he didn't want to leave me and ruin my birthday. He's not an
Did he
aggressive
go to the
man.
doctor the next day?
I don't have
He doesn't have insurance. He didn't want to incur a bill.
Did he go to the emergency room the next day?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
He's not. We have small children. He's not an aggressive person at all. And in fact, I think if anything, it's because our special needs baby, he's more heightened, and I think he really was just trying to tell this person, please don't drive crazy. It's a really crazy, the 2 left-hand turning lanes.
Well, can I just tell you something?
Yes.
I don't believe that for a second. And I need to tell you, because number one, I'm a grown-up. Okay. And I understand when people roll each other's windows down, it's to flip each other off. It is not to give them guiding advice about the way they should be driving, because it's not effective. You can't tell a guy who doesn't know how to drive that he needs to drive better in a sweet way,
You're
and
right.
then give him pointers with a chalkboard and chalk, and then a pointer about how his left turn should be a little bit more crisp and not as wide. That is not what occurs
right.
on the road. What occurs on the road is 2 jerks meeting. When it continues and it escalates, it's because one of them can't show the maturity that God gave a billy goat to stand back. Both of them are too busy playing king es más macho. That is what is going on out there. Okay? And it's one thing for the 20-year-olds to be doing that. It's a little more disturbing when your 40-year-old husband, father of 4, is doing that. That makes me nervous, because that's a man who at this age still doesn't know that he has stuff to lose. 20-year-olds, he's driving around in his dad's car. you know? He's got something to lose, and that's his hide when his father gets a hold of him. But 20-year-olds don't think about that. But for the love of God, are you serious? You know, your husband could end up getting arrested on the day of your birthday. He can't leave well enough alone and let these punks move on, if that's what they really are punks. Come on. Here's how it works on mutual combat. I do not have to figure out today who it is who started this fight, whether you started it or they started it. If I think you both had a hand in it, and that's what I think happened, okay, then you're both responsible for all of the damages. And by you're both, I mean the passenger in his car and you. He has chosen to sue you and not his good friend, which of course is what people do. The police officer calls it mutual combat between you and the passenger, and that means that you're both jointly and severally liable, which means he could sue either one of you for all of the damage. Based on that, I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case and the amount of the damage, which is $1,582.45.
Mutual combat. Plaintiff wins this case. Step on in here. Got that ruling? Understand that?
Yeah.
All right. So, looking at the story that we just heard in the courtroom, you have any regrets about your behavior on that day? How you handled it?
Not really.
What
no.
if you had to do it? What if it happens tonight somewhere? What do you do?
I probably would have done a little more damage and went to jail.
Really?
Yeah, they deserved it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, your wife is there saying that you're such a peaceful man, and then you come out here and say something like that.
Yeah, I know, but you weren't there. You had to be there.
Well, that's what you get for buying your wife dinner at Burger King
That's
for her
what
birthday.
happens, right?
All right. Head right around the corner right there. All right, come on out here. What about you? You proud of yourself?
Not really. I mean,
Dad, you got anything you want to say to your son other than, great job, way to fight and all that stuff? Anything else?
Well, I'm proud of my son for coming here and looking the guy in the eye again. I'm sure it was really traumatic for him. It took some guts to come and do that. I hope Mark learns from this. I'm sure he will. And
What was it
I'm
like
proud
to
of
look that guy in the eye?
well, I tried not to look at him as much as I could.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, so basically each are responsible for the other person's damage since both of them are at fault. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.